So one of the questions we get asked all the time is, how do we actually do security risk assessments? So for us, the security risk assessment process starts when a client comes to us and obviously asks us to come and have a look at their property. And that is actually the first step for us, to go and have a look on site and really see what we need to see in their environment. And the things we want to look at is the building, potentially places where people could hide, where there might be vulnerabilities, where there might be climb point. There's a whole lot of things. And these typically all come under the classification of CPTED, crime prevention through environmental design. So to evaluate CPTED, we obviously need to be looking at the property. But while we're on site, we'll also look at things like CCTV, where they have cameras, where they have access control positioned, whether they have things like blocker plates on external doors, where they might have access control. So really, our job there is to evaluate the building from a physical perspective and where the controls are in place today and whether they're in the right places as well. So once we've gone and done that, the next thing is typically we'll get into have a look at security control room if the client has one. We'll evaluate what the security guards do on any given day, what their standing orders are, and really what we're doing there is trying to determine whether the guards are actually being effective and what their day-to-day tasks are, and if they're actually reducing the risk to the property. So in this area, we need to get very, very detailed and understand exactly what they do over the various shifts of the day. So part of that, understanding what the guards do, we also need to evaluate their SOPs, their standard operating procedures. And the documentation of security is actually really, really important, because for security officers coming into a property, the SOP should be the first reference point that explains to the guard what they should be doing at any given time. So we want to make sure the SOPs are up to date, they're clear, articulate, and everybody that comes into the property is familiar with them. The next thing when we look at security operations is the level of training. So it's all right to say that a guard's licensed and accredited and can be a security guard, but how well does he know that actual property and that environment and what the risks are, and of course what his duties are. So part of this evaluation we do is actually ensuring that the security guards, when they come in from day one, they can be effective. So that's really important. So once we've had a look at the property, gone through the security guards, ascertained the extent and suitability of their security systems, we then essentially are doing a gap analysis. We are trying to understand what risks the property could be exposed to and whether they might need any additional treatments or not, and what they should be. So that's the on-site process. Once we leave site, which typically takes us a day, we're going to go away and put all our thoughts and findings into usually a pretty extensive report that could be easily 40 or 50 pages. And we'll go and collect some data and do what we need to do, and over about 2 or 3 week period, we'll submit our findings to the client.